2.5 days?
I am, yes. But like I said before the test match, not quite sure what to expect with the conditions this time around. I think there was times in the game where perhaps both teams made it look a little bit harder than it was. I take Pakistan's second innings, they played really well, got to 100 for one, and then possibly should have got more runs for us to chase, because the wicket did go a little bit better to bat on. And then the same thing happened today. Obviously the two openers, or number 1 and number 3, was really tough. And then after about 20 overs it did settle down, and then they batted really well. And then the same thing happened, perhaps just losing 2 wickets too many. And that's going to happen with, as you see, both teams have got a very good bowling attacks, and that's why obviously the game sped up very quickly because of the quality of bowling. So I think that has also played a factor that the game is finished so early. But I think in an ideal world, obviously you'd like test matches to go a bit longer, but I do feel that there was good contest between both teams with bat and with ball.
Has this set the tone for you for the whole series?
I mean, luckily for us, we're starting with a win, which is great. To start the series like that, 3-match series, is you always want to make sure you start well. I think both teams played really good cricket, but also showed some average sessions during the test match, and we want to learn from that. We want to get better. But the tone, yeah, I mean, obviously we go to Cape Town. The conditions there is pretty similar in terms of what you get from Newlands every year. There's a little bit of movement on day 1 and 2, and then it gets better. Test match gets better, and then normally in day 5 or 4 and 5 there's a little bit of spin. So expecting to see the same.
Pakistan were 100 for 1 yesterday, going into the break. So, what was your discussion during that time? How did you manage to change things around for the team?
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned at the break that we thought we bowled really well before the break. There was a lot of nicks that fell short of the slips, and we just felt that as a team we needed to stay in the contest, not go away. We knew that if we get 1 or 2, there is a possibility that you could get a few. And it was hard work to get that first one, but once we got it, the bowlers stepped up. It's tough from a seam bowling perspective to go 2 days in a row, and I think Pakistan was in the same boat. Obviously the bowlers would bowl 15, 16 overs, and then they had to bowl the next day 15, 16 overs again. So it was a big ask from the bowlers, and asked quite a bit of them, especially towards the end of the day, when I took the spinner off to bring another seamer from the top to try and get more wickets. Yeah, so it was just about staying there. We did good things, and we knew that it will change if you get 1 wicket.
But do you feel like this is the test where Elgar has arrived?
I think this condition suited him perfectly. I did say after in the press and the post-match now that it reminded me of what Mitch Johnson did to us when he came all those, I think it was 3-4 years back, at this specific ground. If you bowl quick and you bowl hard lengths and a lot of short stuff, 1 or 2 balls that goes a little bit up and down, it makes it really tough to bat against. So I think on this ground, he bowled the perfect way that needs to be bowled if you've got a bit of pace. And it made our attack, there was a lot of variety in our attack. KG with skill, Dale with bowls a little bit fuller, and then obviously Dwan has ran in and bowled very quick. So I think for him, this was the perfect test match. He bowled beautifully, and as I said before the test, I felt he was bowling really well. Whether the same thing would work going to Newlands, you'd have to look at the wicket and see what is the right lines and lengths to bowl. But I definitely felt like this pitch, when he bowled after his first 2 overs, the discussion between us was just to make sure that he runs in and he bowls short and fast and makes it uncomfortable. So I think that was the ideal wicket for him to bowl on. But in saying that, you still got to do it. He bowled short for a long period of time. That takes a lot of energy out of you. And he was X factor for us this game. So very, very happy for him. He's been waiting for another opportunity a long time, and we've got some great fast bowlers. So obviously the competition there's a lot of them now, but to get 11 wickets in a test match is a huge effort.
Just from a psychological point of view, the way he almost really looked as though he scared a few batsmen. will that make it almost difficult to drop him for Newlands?
Definitely. I mean, same thing. If a batter scores 200s, it's difficult to leave him out of when he gets an opportunity. So, yeah, it would be very, very hard to leave him out of the team going to Newlands. As you rightly say, it's obviously wickets plays a part, but there's a mental aspect when it comes to Test cricket as well, which there's a bit of fear in the batsman's eyes, and there's just some very good players in their team, and you could sense that he made it uncomfortable for them. So it's definitely something that we want to try and make sure we keep having in our armoury.
How would you rate your team's batting performance in this Test match?
I think it's difficult to rate. I mean, it was tough to bat on, and that first hour today was for me a great example of it. I mean, that's as hard as Test cricket will get wherever you play in the world, whether it's spinning in the subcontinent or seaming around in the UK. That's as tough as it will get. You need a bit of luck. The two guys had a bit of luck, but it is tough to rate a batting unit on a wicket like that, because it's almost like there's a ball that's got your number on it, and if you get into a position where you can get runs for the team, then it's great. And if you get out, you almost make sure you wipe it away and then refocus on the next match. But I think, as I said before, I think both teams, there were signs of really good batting, and there was one or two mistakes that possibly made it a little bit soft. But there was a lot in the wicket.
The mistakes, the result of the pitch just being so difficult.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of movement. I mean, obviously, sieve movement is one thing, but there was also a lot of up and down, and there was good carry. So that makes life tricky for batters. And I thought Pakistan showed yesterday that you can bat on it. They batted really well, and that gave us confidence that the wicket got a little bit better. Obviously, the green grass was starting to burn away a little bit, so the sea movement did go away. And then this morning it was overcast again. A little bit of rain last night probably just made that moisture come up to the top again, and it was back to almost day one wicket. So there was a lot of different things that happened through this Test match in the wicket, and I think that is what Test cricket is all about. You want different stages where you can play differently, and you need to adapt your game plan.
Before the match, you talked about Hashim Amla's batting numbers, scoring your drop at number 3. Has he been doing something differently in the lead up to this match? Because he looked different there once he got that first retrieve and then began to look quite comfortable.
No, he's done absolutely nothing different. I think that's been the trademark of what, certainly looking behind the scenes, what Hashim's always done is he sticks to exactly the same things. Whether he scores runs or doesn't, his mental application and attitude away from the game remains the same. He's a very level-headed, calm guy. You don't see him get frantic when he doesn't score runs. He just believes that it will turn. And in cricket, that's how it works. You need a drop catch, and then all of a sudden the luck's gone your way, and then what did he get? 60, 70 not out today was exactly what he needed. So obviously, if that catch had been taken, we would be in a tough spot of bother, because the ball was moving around a lot during that first hour.
You mentioned all the difficulties about batting and how tricky it is to bat on these kind of wickets, but in sort of the 12, 13, 14 months, the theme has been like that, especially at home.
Yeah.
There inevitably comes a point where the batsmen have to bite the bullet, really put in big performances. Where do you think that will eventually happen?
I agree with you. I mean, that's the trends are there, but it's something that we look forward to as a batting unit. We understand that home conditions is not perfect for batting. The wickets that we want to play on is wickets that assist our seam bowling attack. We've got the best bowling attack statistically in the world, so it would be stupid not to try and make use of that. So if that meant it made life a little bit tougher for us as batters, and personally it will be a little bit harder to score runs, as long as we winning games of Test matches, I will definitely smile at the end of it. But I mean, we joke around about it a lot, that you'd rather want to be batting in Australia as an opening batsman, as Dean would say all the time, and get good wickets. But for me, it's about winning Test matches, and at the moment we're doing that at home. So yes, in a perfect world, you'd love your batters to score hundreds and do well all the time. but the wickets we are preparing is not flat wickets to bat on. There's good assistance for the seam bowlers.
For a reflection on now, just on performance with the bat.
Yeah, a fantastic test match. Will certainly go down as one of my best. Yeah, it's first innings got a ball that bounced a bit, and then thankfully Tienes gave me the opportunity of just making sure that I get a pair with 12 runs to go. When you get down to about 25, you're sitting there thinking, I've got everything to lose here, nothing to gain. And thankfully part of is it a record? Yep. So.
According to a trusted statistician.
So as long as I'm breaking records, I'm happy.
Can I get the last few for
with Vernon Fernando also coming back, how difficult does that make the choice between him and Tuan?
Yeah, Vernon at Newlands he picks himself. His record there is unbelievable. So he will definitely come back into the team, and then the selection headache starts. But it is old cliche, it's a nice selection headache to have. We've got good bowlers in our team, and obviously there's a few things that we can consider. You know, do we play 7 batters, do we play 6 batters, do we play 4 seamers, do we play 3 seamers? That will happen over the next days, once we also had a look at what the wicket is looking like, and then and make that decision. But like I said, it's tough to leave out one. Getting 11 wickets in a match and leaving quite a bit of mental scars in opposition. So it's a nice challenge to have.
Faf, one of the other positives from this test, surely the batting of Temba Bavuma, because hasn't played a lot and there were a few question marks there, but really good test.
Temba batted really well. Technically looked very sound, had a lot of time when he faced him. Temba's always had a really good technique. Always seen a lot in him and what he can do for us as a test team. So I think, you know, it's only a matter of time when Temba will start putting big numbers on the board. You know, he's technically, he does everything right, and that's why he was successful in this wicket. He left very well, he played the ball late, and he saved us in that first innings. Obviously Quinny batted really well. Quinny is continues his good form, and on wickets like that you just need 2 or 3 guys to step up and score the runs. Obviously like today Dean and Ashing did at second innings. So as long as there's 2 guys stepping up every game, then generally that's okay to get a score of between 250 and 350.
Maybe just on the atmosphere, first Boxing Day test here, how did you all find the atmosphere?
Yeah, I think it's a huge success. Obviously I think there was a lot of question marks, maybe, you know, there's not a lot of people just during this time of the year, but that first day was an unbelievable atmosphere to have a sellout day one. So I think that this has got some room, some legs to go into the future of continuing to having Boxing Day test matches. We also play well as a team, yeah. We win, yeah. So yeah, very well done to Supersport Park and the people.
Do you need them to swap?
Yes, please.
Great. Thank you, Ken.
Dean, what about it? Just how hard was it out there? I mean, I know you ended up winning by 6 wickets, but it looked like, especially in the morning, that was really could have gone either way.
Yeah, I think it could have gone either way. Fortune was obviously on our side, and we mentioned it yesterday while we were fielding that we need so much luck in this game. Actually, the wickets obviously had a lot of favour for the bowlers, and as a batting unit, you just needed something to go your way. And chasing an iffy score of 150 is always something that's going to be a challenge for us. But luckily, we had a few things that went our way, and like I mentioned, that's what we needed, and it was a really tough wicket. Pakistan have bought some good bowlers here, and with the nature of the wickets we playing on, they're definitely using those definitely to their full advantage. So it was quite tough.
You feel South African opening batsmen should be paid a lot more than what they do?
They need to treble my salary and Aiden's as well, because it's hard work in South Africa. It's definitely the toughest place in the world to bat. I can vouch for that now.
But yeah, it's still what makes the job so satisfying when once you get through the tough times and you look back at those tough times and you really enjoy them. The beer tastes a lot better, I can tell you that. But yeah, it's a lot. It's very rewarding when you get through those tough times. But you know, you're just around the corner from a failure, and that's just part of the nature of our cricket at the moment.
Just on that initial catch when you had 4, where you almost looked as though you were ready to go.
Like you don't see a lot, obviously, when you turn around and at first glance, obviously you go on the reaction, and the umpires obviously have the final say. Well, the third umpire did, but yeah, it's out of my hands. I don't make any decisions. You got to trust the people's in power to make the right calls, and as I mentioned, you need a bit of luck to go your way, and thankfully it went our way, and we're sitting here 1-0 going into Cape Town.
Dean, talk to us through that first hour. It's probably one of the most difficult first hours of Test cricket.
I think I make it look a lot tougher. I think I give the bowlers a lot of false hope, and they're like, I'm in here with Elgar, I can get him out, but obviously I proved them wrong. But yeah, it was tough, and like I mentioned, the Pakistan side has really brought some very good seamers. They exploit our conditions if there's a bit of swing around. And if there's no swing, the wicket will assist them with a bit of sideways movement and a little bit of up and down movement. So it was hard work. It was right up there with another really tough but satisfying and successful day for us. But yeah, it could be a lot easier for us if we go better batting wickets, which I doubt is going to happen.
Would you rather better this wicket or January 2018 in the Wanderers?
Well, look, either way, they all tough. I'd rather bat on this wicket because we won, and that wicket at Wanderers we lost. So I'd rather be sitting here playing on this wicket and having a win under our belt. But look, they're both different scenarios, but all mightily challenging, and I think that experience that I had at Wanderers has potentially got me through this one. So yeah, there's always a rainbow somewhere, I guess, if you want to use that throughout a player's career, and I think the Wanderers experience, like I mentioned, has potentially helped me through this one.
Dean, what were you and Hashimov talking about in the first hour? Because for the first 10 overs, there wasn't a single score, just 4 boundaries.
There's a lot of jokes going on in Hash and I bat together. I can tell you, there's not a lot of cricket talk when we bat. We try to see the lighter side of life, and I mean that's maybe your 5-10 seconds that you can actually just switch off a little bit and crack a little joke or throw a little one-liner out. And Hash and I, we get each other with our humour, and yeah, there's not a lot of cricket talk out there. But once we obviously started getting into our innings, we started flowing a little bit better, a bit more focus came in towards our partnership, trying to build into our 50-run partnership, and then obviously ultimately getting onto our 100 partnership. So yeah, definitely there was time for seriousness when we knew we were getting closer to our final point. But in the beginning, it was quite humorous.
Dean, you mentioned giving the bowlers false hope, but how do you deal with it when, I mean, there are times out there when the ball's just continually either hitting your edge or just going past and the catch and that sort of thing. How do you deal with it? I mean, it looks like you could get out any moment.
Well, I think that's the nature of the game. You've got to be comfortable with the fact that there is one with your name on it, and you've got to be, like I said, comfortable. You just got to play the ball on merit. If it beats your bat or you edge it for 4, so be it. I'm quite thick-skinned like that. I'm not going to dwell on the past too often. I'm just going to focus on what I have to do, and the next thing you have to do is face the ball that's coming your way. Because potentially there is opportunity to score a boundary or rotate the strike or whatever the nature is. So no, I don't look at the past too much. I think if you had a camera or a microphone on my shirt, it would be quite entertaining about what I'm saying. So yeah, it is what it is, I'm afraid, and yeah, you just got to focus on the next delivery.
Dean, how's your arm?
Yeah, they're good, I must say. They're very nice. I might have a modified arm guard for the next game. We'll just have to see what the wicket's going to play like. But yeah, it's okay. I've been hit there many a time in my career before, and it's never pleasant, but I know the guys in the change room appreciate the work I do, and that actually makes the deal a little bit easier. And like I said, it's always nice to ice it with a nice cold beer, knowing that we've won the game.
Dean, I know you say that there's not a lot of cricket talk between yourself and Hashim out in the middle, but just to break down a run chase like that, especially for a tricky total of 149, what goes through your head? You set yourselves little mini targets to get to 20, 30, 40, 50, 60?
I think experience helps us. Like we know if we hang in here, they're going to start coming into our strengths. They're going to start bowling on Hash's cut. They're going to feed my legs where ultimately we're going to capitalize on some loose deliveries. And that actually happened. So we know we hang in there. We got to leave well. We got to defend well and show no weakness against their bowlers. So yeah, in each player's got his own different characteristic and his game plan going into that. Mine will differ to Hash's, but I'm pretty sure the end product is very similar to what we want to achieve. And I think on a tough wicket, the next ball coming your way is so important, irrespective of what had happened before.
Dean, how happy were you to take the catch that gave Dale the record?
I was just happy that Monkey's off Dale's back now. It's been 2 years, I think, that he's been waiting for this, and it couldn't have happened to a better person, a better teammate. I'm extremely happy and proud for Dale. I've had a few years with him now in the change room, and he's had a lot of tough times, and I think he was the one guy who was trying to brush it off the most. But we know the significance of what he's achieved now, and being able to contribute in that way just by taking the catch is nice. I can go down in history again. Pear and debut. But yeah, very happy for Dale. As I mentioned, couldn't happen to a nicer human being.
Just on you also, this being your home ground, how did you experience the Boxing Day test here?
Awesome. Yeah, awesome. That's it. I didn't doubt the crowd attendance.
Thank you so much.
I didn't doubt the crowd attendance because I know in Pretoria people might not have money to go away on holiday, but they definitely have money for beer. And, but the crowds we get here domestically are always well attended, and I know people are quite passionate about their sport in Pretoria, and even more so with Test cricket, and especially when the Proteas are in town. They absolutely love it. So if it's anything to go by how the current franchise of the Titans gets supported, you could only just be extremely happy if the Proteas have that. It's similar attendance. So to have it sold out the first day, it's awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.